Joe the Big Nerdy Biker, and we're going to do an on-the-road review again today. It's been a while since we've done one, but we're going to jump on the bike. We're going to head out of Waukegan, Illinois, where I live, go up to Kenosha, Wisconsin, not too far away, to a place called Iguana Wana. I've been eyeballing this place for a little bit. I just haven't had the opportunity to stop in there. So we took care of that on this ride here. Before we get going, I'm going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe like we do on all the socials here. Also, we just launched the actual BigNerdyBiker.com website. The Big Nerdy Biker website has everything on it. It's got all our videos. It's got the merch store. It's got everything available to it. So if you go to BigNerdyBiker.com, you can go there and you can go to the merch store. Speaking of the merch store, I'm going to launch a commercial for it right now. Guys, Joe the Big Nerdy Biker here, and guess what? We got a merch store now! Go to BigNerdyBiker.creator-spring.com to get to the store. Big Nerdy Biker store already has plenty of designs out there on many different types of clothing and other merchandise as well. Be adding more continuously. What we have you can wear to any motorcycle event already. So again, that's BigNerdyBiker.creator-spring.com, and everything you do there helps me keep this channel going. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on down the road. So this was filmed July 8th, 2023. It's a beautiful day. High 70s, low 80s. It's been a really cool summer this year. I got my girl with me on this trip. Lori is going to actually, at some point, we're going to do an interview with her. She's new to being a passenger on a bike. And we're going to actually talk with her about being a new passenger on an episode coming up here, so keep an eye out for that. I don't know when that's going to be. I got to get my thoughts together and think of the questions I want to ask her, but when she started getting to be a passenger, she had a whole lot of questions, and she started doing some research, and she got some bad information off the internet. So I wanted to talk to her about that and, you know, have her share her experiences so far. She's been only riding for about 2-3 months, and I can't get her off of the goddamn bike at this point. So yeah, that'll be a fun thing to talk about. Hey, before we get too deep into this ride, I want you to check out the sweet Charger we went riding by as we were getting ready to take off from the strip mall nearby my house. Nice yellow. I think it's a Charger. I'm not exactly Mr. Car guy, but yeah, check this sucker out. He is sweet. We're going from Waukegan. Like I said, it's a city, northern Illinois. Rode through the countryside. We're gonna get plenty of scenery pouring on this ride up there. Up to Iguana Wana. Iguana Wana is a Mexican restaurant. It's in Kenosha, Wisconsin, not far from I-94. So if you're passing through going up 94 up to Milwaukee, it's an easy dump off. It's near Hughes Harley Davidson is a landmark. That's where you'll see the tower with the glass tower with the Harleys in it when you're driving up the road. Iguana Wana was a nice place. Really nice place. It's been there for a while. All the fixtures and everything were done up really well. There was no real problem like when we were in the place. Everything looked nice and new, even though the place had been around for a while. All the fixtures were nice. They weren't corroded. There's a Mexican place I go near here, which is really nice. It's one of those like fusion type places where it's got to be like fancy menu stuff, but like all the fixtures are corroded. All the copper is turning green and everything, and the bathroom's kind of tore up and crappy and stuff. The food's pretty good. I always check bathrooms when I go to restaurants because it gives you an idea of the care that the owners put into the restaurant, right? If the bathroom's tore up, they might not be taking care of things in places where you can't see things, right? So I always check that out. So we're at Iguana Wana. We go inside. They have a big display where they're trying to sell you like take-home tequila kits and stuff, apparently, which is a pretty nice idea.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Thank you. Two, please. Would you like to sit inside or an outside view?
Outside would be great. Inside's fine too, but outside would be better.
Enjoy.
Thank you. It's a pretty big place. Well decorated, like I said. We chose to sit out on the outside balcony. The outside balcony is along Highway 50, which is a major road in the area. But surprisingly, there's ditch weedage, I guess. It's not shrubbery. It's like tall weeds growing out of the ditch that makes for a good view and blocks out quite a bit of the traffic. I mean, there were a couple rabbits playing around and stuff in the field too as we were sitting down to eat. So we got set relatively quickly, and our server showed up really fast. He actually told us he had been there since 10 a.m. He asked us if we had ever been there before. It was the first time for both of us. And he had said that was the first time all day anybody had told him that it was their first trip to Iguana Wana. We took, Candace came out with the standard chips and salsa that you get at most sit-down Mexican places. Actually, it had 3 salsas, so it was a little more than standard. It was like a chunky table salsa like you normally get. A salsa verde, which I think was a tomatillo and jalapeno salsa, but I'm no expert, right? I just know things are good, things aren't good, right? And it was pretty good. And then a darker red sauce, or orangey red sauce, I should say, that had a little more kick to it. I'd be guessing if I were to tell you it was in it. Didn't think to ask. But all 3 salsas were pretty good, and that goes a long way when you're sitting at the table for a dinner at a Mexican place. They had a really large drink menu. I got myself a tamarind margarita. I hadn't seen a tamarind margarita available anyplace else before. She got herself a raspberry mojito, and so we ordered those. Put our drinks in. One drink only for me tonight. Drinks came out fairly quickly. The tamarind margarita, that was fantastic.
That is good.
I was expecting a little bit more bitterness to it, but it actually was fairly sweet. I'd gotten a salted rim versus a sugar rim like they asked if I had wanted. The mojito, I took a couple sips off of that. It's pretty good. Like, I'm not a big mojito fan, but it's pretty good. Fruit and rum can't go wrong, right? We ordered our dinners. She ordered chicken rellenos. I ordered steak and shrimp fajitas. Prices were a little bit high. It was like a little bit high. It wasn't too high. It was a couple bucks more than like a Chili's, but it was a little not horrible, but a couple bucks higher, right? Service came really quick. The place was kind of busy. It wasn't like over busy, but it was kind of busy. But food came up pretty quick, which is, again, pretty standard at most Mexican places. It usually doesn't take too long, considering most Mexican food uses the same basic ingredients and is just kind of sorted a little bit differently, right? I started on my steak fajitas. The steak was really tender, really good, but it missed a little bit of flavor and seasoning, right? It wasn't bad. It just, I expected a little more seasoning, right? The veggies that came on the fajita were cooked really well, and then the shrimp had a lot of flavor. The shrimp was caked in the flavor, and not like obscenely caked, but the seasoning, whatever they used, was on there, and it actually got onto the veggies that the shrimp actually sat on, provided a really good flavor. It came with rice and beans. I'm not a big rice guy. I had a few spoons of the beans. I didn't want to have too many beans. I had company for the night, you know, but the beans were pretty good. And I really enjoyed the fajita. Like I said, the steak could have used a little more seasoning, but I mean, it wasn't not flavored either, right? Like it was done pretty well. The chicken Rolano, I didn't have any of that. She polished it off before I could steal it and bites off of it. It looked really good. She told me that the sauce it was in was really thick. She was actually expecting it to be a little bit waterier, kind of like an Alfredo sauce, but it was really thick, which was really good. Like, she devoured that chicken, so it must have been good. You know, usually she doesn't finish a plate, you know, there's some bites for me to steal. It also came with some Mexican potatoes, which were seasoned really nice. There were a few of those left over I was able to steal. I dug those. They were basically potato wedges with seasoning. I mean, it's not rocket science there, right? But they were done really well. It's not rocket science, but you can really f up potatoes too, right? So, but they were done really nicely. They were really soft. She also got tortillas along with her meal, as you do at most Mexican places. We both got corn tortillas. Corn tortillas were really good, and like I said, she truly enjoyed her chicken Relanos. So yeah, the meal worked out really well. We were both happy. We both plan on going back there again at some point. So yeah, Iguana Wana in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yeah, I'll be back. It's definitely worth stopping if you're in the area. I don't know about going out of your way for it, but definitely if you're passing through Kenosha, I'd stop in for a bite if I were you. So we finished up our dinner. We hung out on the patio there for a little bit. After the one margarita, I switched over to Diet Pop because I just didn't want to have too many, because those margaritas were good, and if I had another one, it was going to turn into like 7 margaritas. We hung out on the patio for a little bit, and then we went about our way. Went through again. The place is decorated really well. Went to take off. The patio is lit really nicely too for when it starts getting dark. Like, it looks pretty from the outside, as you'll see in the video here. Alright guys, I hate to do this, but we are going to cheat really quick. You see, I ran about 10 minutes short of talk time on this video for making it to Iguana Wana. The first time I've ever run short on talk time in one of these videos. So we're going to do the drive-by pass here real quick, pulling into Iguana Wana, going through the parking lot. There's a really sweet old Ford in this parking lot that you're going to see. I'm no car expert. I'm not going to give you the year, anything like that. We're going to do a pass on that Ford. When I left the place, there was an El Camino next to it as well, which I do have video for. I'll slip that into a future video somewhere. But yeah, I wanted to make sure you guys got a chance to take a look at Iguana Wana from the outside as well. Yeah, take a look at this thing. This thing is freaking sweet. We're gonna do a closer pass on it in a second, but that is something that Billy Gibbons right there himself would love to get his hands on right there. That thing is just hot. Oh yeah, by the way, we're sitting still here because somebody almost backed into me in this parking lot as well. I mean, geez, would you look at that? That thing's amazing. You don't see good cars like that on the road too much anymore, and it's a damn shame. Alright guys, as we're rolling into this parking spot here to wrap this up, we're going to call the video here. Again, Iguana Wana. It was definitely a good place to eat. I enjoyed it. I've got a ton of video left from this night. There's some other cool stuff that went on. We saw a bunch of people from the Ren Fair out and about that evening. My camera, that van actually I pulled in next to, my camera missed it, but there were two people dressed as like wenches getting out of it. Because I had put my camera on my necklace to film, I didn't get the wenches because my head was turned and I saw them, but I didn't see them with my camera. You can kind of see them futzing around in the car there. We saw a guy dressed as a pirate at the Quick Trip, and we found somebody broke down in the middle of a driving lane on the way back that I ended up pushing out of the road, and we talked with a biker who came to help us because they thought the bike was broken down and not the car. So yeah, I've got more video from this evening that I can use down the road, but like I said, we're gonna call it. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out the new website, BigNerdyBiker.com. You can get to our merch store from there. Picking up anything from the merch store or buying something from the Amazon wish list both helps me keep these videos going, and I'll catch you on down the road. Bye.